You're now tuned into the fourth season of Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions, a media education company. Let's get it started.
That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's the AVIOT podcast. I'm your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by Jay Random. Welcome to see you back, or happy to see you back, Jay.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I'm talking about light. I'm thinking, damn, I look like I'm on interrogation. I just happen to look at the screen. I'm like, damn, I'm right.
Oh, wow. You do look like you're on
I'm like right above, like a light is right above me. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hold a second. Let's see if I can switch up my light, but I'm doing good.
Shaking my head. Why? I'm trying to, as soon as I start the show, now everybody want to call me. Nobody want to talk to me beforehand, but now everybody want to call me.
I think it's better. No, shoot. I think now I'm brighter. I don't know. Who cares?
It's whatever. They
Exactly.
ain't seeing the video yet until I start editing these videos. So it is what it is. But listen, so I went to my explanation on the last podcast episode that I did. I finally released one on Tuesday. Remember, we do Tuesdays and Thursdays for AVIOT now.
Yes.
And I was talking about how we missed Sunday Brew. I was upset about that. But one thing we had talked about prior to this past Sunday was we were supposed to talk about Trump trying to take over Greenland and Panama Canal and Canada and all that stuff.
Trump supporters believe that Trump was going to actually lower the gas price, lower egg. And it's kind of like, this man isn't even worried about what he told you he was going to do. He's too busy doing non-important things like messing with Canada. Telling Canada we should make you the 51st state. Telling Greenland, hey, we're going to take it back. I know we gave it to you. I know we had some, but we're going to take it back. The Panama, no, is it the Panama? No, Gulf of Mexico. No, that's not the Gulf of Mexico. It is the Panama, right?
I don't know. You put me on game. I got to look this up after the show.
Oh, you didn't hear about this? About how it's bad. It's bad because one person said it the best. You're supposed to be coming here at lower prices, not start wars. It's pretty bad. I think it is the Panama. I think Panama. Yeah.
This is what we'll do. Yeah, it is Panama. It's Panama Canal. So this is what we'll do. Sunday, we'll revisit this. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sunday, we'll revisit this. Remember?
Yeah, crazy.
Yes, I looked into it a little bit, and I'll be honest, I'm a little underprepared just because my wife wanted to do a workout, and I wanted to be a supportive husband and come with her. So that was.
That today you talking about?
Yeah, it was today. And during that time, I wanted to read more into some of the articles that I had on file. And I wasn't able to fully comb through. So I'm literally going to be scrolling through my phone as I'm reading these things for you right now. So pretty much the thought is that Trump is trying to have more of an imperialistic mindset when it comes to America. Why? I don't know. So this article I'm reading right now from CNN, it's by Stephen Collinson. It says that Trump's attitude embodies the American first principle of using U.S. strength U.S. strength to relentlessly pursue narrow national interest by even coercing smaller allied powers. So he wants to go back on the Panama Canal Treaty. And looking at that, it was a treaty that was signed in 1977. It's an agreement between the United States and Panama that gave Panama control of the Panama Canal by the year 2000. The treaty was signed by President Jimmy Carter. So rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. He recently passed.
Oh, so he really trying to stick with the Jimmy.
I don't know about that. But anyways, I'm just looking, just some quick facts about the treaty. It was guaranteed that the Panama Canal would be neutral and open to all ships. The treaty stated that the United States could use its military to defend the canal, and the treaty ended the U.S. control of the Panama Canal Zone that began in 1903. So Trump is pretty much trying to go back on this, and he's also trying to, I guess they said, make Canada the 51st state. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so exactly. And he's not trying to do it reportedly through military might. He's more so looking at economically trying to seize that takeover or to enforce that takeover. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's pretty sad that he's wasting his time with things that's not important to not even to us, but to his base. He should be focusing on how to as quote unquote make America great again. What I mean by that is lower the eggs and the cheese and the bread and the gas prices, and hire within and not deal with H1B visas. And he's not, instead he's all over the place, right?
Mhm.
He campaigned on something that he can't. He can't keep that promise, right? He cannot control any of the actual gas prices, the egg prices, but they didn't know. But he knew. We knew that wasn't happening. Eggs are more expensive now. Now, granted, we're still under Biden, but that's what's going to happen when Trump start raising his taxes and the tariffs start to come in. We're really going to see a disconnect on what he promised versus what's happening. So, like I said, I think it's a waste. The Panama Canal. I don't understand what he gets out of that.
Yeah, I mean, the article said that it's pretty much a foolish errand. Like,
yeah, but also Canada. What do you get? I think only thing he can get out of Canada is, I guess he could control the fact that Canada can't turn off our power now, because Canada already threatened and said, "Hey, you give us tariffs, we're going to cut the power off. We're going to do the same to you. We're going to show you that we're just as powerful." So I guess that's one way of him controlling Canada without controlling Canada, by saying, "Okay, you're the 51st state. Now you got to listen to what I say, the president." So I think in all, he never had a plan.
No.
Clearly, we see right now he doesn't have a plan. I literally think he has a think board. They throw stuff against it and see whatever falls and sticks, and he goes with it. I think he has a bunch of people who are just a bunch of yes men who are not really helping his cause on what he won, right? He won on groceries, as the man said. Groceries, the word groceries.
Who said he won on groceries?
He did.
President-elect Trump taking a victory lap on Wall Street, ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange after being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. But just days after sharing this assessment about the election with NBC's Kristen Welker.
I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries.
Oh yeah, on the 60-minute interview he had. He did a 60-minute interview, and on the 60-minute interview, he said, "I won on the word groceries." And I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
So, it's crazy.
Yeah. So speaking of America and their interests, there's been a lot of interest in the fires that are currently going on in LA. And I spoke about this in the last podcast episode, even mentioning that there was a homeless individual that was reportedly adding to the Kenneth fire that was in another part, by having a flamethrower, right? So
how the homeless person get a flamethrower?
What?
Tell you, man, listen, there's some fishy stuff happening. I don't know. He talked about he couldn't. He talking about. I don't mean to laugh. Listen.
How he get gas?
I ain't laughing at the fact that he's contributing to the fire. I'm laughing at the fact that this dude even got access to it. It's like, how? I'm laughing at the absurdity of it.
Yeah. So where do you get a flamethrower from? First of all, number two, he's homeless, so he's gonna take all that money he panhandle and get gas. Like, come on, man. This is.
I think
fishy.
he was saying something like he couldn't stop. And that's what made me wonder what was happening.
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, yes, and for all the people, we're definitely not laughing at the fire. We're laughing at a flamethrower, homeless person. That doesn't even make any sense.
Nope.
Just the two.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, because I had said in the last episode the quote where he was like, "I can't stop" or something like that. And that's the main piece that I wanted to focus on.
Yeah,
like, why would he be saying that?
That's crazy, because when you think about it, it makes sense that we had all these multiple fires going on at the same time, right? Because when you first heard it, you were like, how we got like 4 fires going at the same time? Now it makes sense if
no, it's more than 4. I know last time you're like, is that many? No, it's more. It's more. So there's main ones, and then there's little ones. The Kenneth fire is a little fire. But then there's the main fires. I think the Palisades one is the biggest of all of them all.
No one started that, right? That just happened on dryness.
I don't know now.
But you know what's fishy? That canal that's been out of service since last year. I mean, that reservoir. It's been out of service since last year in maintenance.
What canal?
No, the reservoir. So they have a reservoir that's been out of commission. So, you know, when they go get their water from, it's been out of commission. It's been under maintenance ever since February 2024. And I'm like, you know, what is going on here? So that's why a lot of their water they had to get from the ocean.
That's very odd. Circling back right quick to the quote. So I found it. It said, he was like, I can't stop. I'm not putting this down. I'm doing this. And that's what makes me concerned.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about in the last podcast episode. I said, that's a little strange right there. But regarding these fires, Marlon Wayans came out. Did you see what this man said on Instagram?
What he said?
Well, read the statement. He said in an Instagram post, wow, this image got me thinking spiritually. Not sure if it's real or not. Don't care. And it's an image of the Hollywood sign with fire burning in the background. Okay. So then he says, to all my tribe of friends, family, executives, agents, managers, crew members, this ain't Hollywood burning. It's a rebirth. This is a rinsing our souls of all the devastations we have endured over the past 5 years, COVID, strikes, fires, etc. This is the moment we come together as an entertainment community. Through all this tragedy, let's focus on triumph. Everything is God. May we all hear him. He is screaming at us. Everything will be okay. Even better than before. It's not the end. It's a beginning. Love and prayers to all those affected. I love all of us. To all my friends that have lost their homes, I'm saddened yet happy that you have your lives. These things are replaceable, but life is not. Big hugs and love. I find rainbows whenever I'm in storms. Some people just find gloom. What? I'm like, this statement was so tone deaf. I get where he's trying to come from, but this ain't it.
No, that's not it, man. You know why? Because you can't tell someone, because a lot of these people, okay, we're not even gonna say the Hollywood people. A lot of these regular folk people, they didn't even have insurance on their houses. Matter of fact, DDG, he's a big liar. But he even said he didn't have fire insurance. So he's an entertainer with no fire insurance. Imagine other people with no fire insurance, because a lot of insurance companies pulled out last year because of the other fire. Like every year is a freaking fire. So you can't tell someone who, yes, I'm glad I'm alive. Yes, it's just property. But at the end of the day, the bank is still going to come and collect. So if you still owe money on your house, that bank is going to say, yeah, I know it is nothing there but rubble, but your mortgage is due on the first.
See, now that's some bullshit.
So besides that part, besides the fact people still have to pay for something that's no longer there, we're talking about memories, families being brought up and raised in houses. The best thing he could have said was, I'm saddened for all my friends that were affected, and I'm glad that you're still alive.
If you're listening to the AVIOT podcast on a streaming service, make sure to leave a rating and a review so we can grow our platform.
Something like that. Make it go that rainbow gumdrops and lollipops.
Yeah, and I'm donating this amount of money to the cause.
Yeah, because all this, I'm happy, and this is a rebirth. No one wants to hear anything about rebirth. That's like, no one wants to hear rebirth when, how can it be a rebirth? I can't even rebuild this. So what am I so what's a rebirth?
Yeah.
What's a redo? I can't, because I gotta understand, it's a business, right? So we really can't look at these mortgages, these corporations, and be like, okay, I'm sorry you lost your house. I'm going to eat that cost. No.
Nah, right? They ain't gonna do that.
You can't.
That's not happening.
And you can't tell someone, oh man, you know what? But at least you're alive. But my grandmother, which was 102, I only got one picture of her, and it was in the house. Like, it's best to just say, I'm sorry for those who were, who was affected. I want to donate, like you said, and keep it pushing. All this, this is a reset, and we needed this. No, bro, no, shut up. Shut up.
Right.
But that's a problem with actors. That's a problem with entertainers. They always think they're smarter than what they are. They're really not.
Yeah, I always say it the best.
And they can never read the room.
No, they
Because
can
you heard
read
what happened to
lines.
Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry, or Khloe, right?
What happened with her?
So, and I didn't mean to cut you off, so I apologize.
You good.
Khloe got they dragged her through the mud. So Khloe basically went online and was saying, with all this fire going on, I'm not gonna do word for word, but with all this fire that's going on, the firefighters are hungry, and that's all they need. They need a meal. So my friend is going to, I think she said BJ's or Sam's Club, and getting some of her rotisseries. If you want to help, you could donate so I can get those.
Wow.
I said, they were like, girl, are you joking? So you
got enough money to do it yourself. You got enough money
to do it yourself. You want us to donate to your friend making an errand to go get some rotisserie chicken? Come on. That's what everybody was saying. Everybody was like, why won't you and your sisters put some money together? And like, cool with what you saying. Yes, these firefighters need to eat. They're tired. But as soon as you say, if you want to donate, that's a no-no. That's a no-no, sis. No one's listening to you after that because you got too much money to tell me to donate.
The most famous sister too busy supporting Trump and whatever. I know she's a Trump supporter too because the way
she's still supporting Trump.
I don't know, man. The way she be moving be suspect to me. Now, granted, I had said in the past on this podcast we don't mention that family, but I think that's a little played out now. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna say their names though, as long as I can prevent it. I'll say that family. It is
no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, now, what were you saying? Yeah, because I cut you off.
No, I said they can read lines, but they can't read the room.
No, I can't read the room.
But I remember in the previous podcast episode, I know I keep referencing it because there are some things I definitely wanted to speak with you about. There was a celebrity singer by the name of Heidi Montag. She had posted a video of herself crying because the fires they damaged her property or she'd been affected by it. And there are people in the comment section saying free Palestine. Now you know how it feels in Gaza, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying how that was not cool at all.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was not cool.
People,
but
man.
I wanted to, and I was saying how you take away from the cause because people are starting to feel less sympathetic towards y'all because y'all doing the most. And I could go on and on about different stories regarding the whole free Palestine people. I'm gonna have Travis Washington on so we can discuss and Travis Washington, y'all, I didn't say in the past podcast episode, but he's a frequent contributor of the podcast, good friend of the show. But today it was announced that Israel and Hamas have reached a Gaza ceasefire agreement. So this announcement came from President Biden and Qatar's prime minister. So they announced it separately, and the ceasefire agreement, I think that it's supposed to begin on Saturday. So finally, there is a ceasefire. Yeah. It's been a while. I think the last one happened some years ago. But 2023, November is the first truce since November of 2023. Okay. So that's good. I never am in favor of seeing people be murdered, killed, because most of the casualties in this whole Palestinian-Israeli war are civilians.
Correct.
I'm not a fan of that at all. And this is even though there is anti-Black sentiment in Palestine. I don't know if you know about the whole Afro-Palestinian situation, the whole drama there. Like, I was even reading, you got some Palestinians that won't marry Black Palestinians, which is crazy to me.
But, whoa. Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, we'll get into that with Travis when we have him on. But yeah, I mean, it's good that there is a ceasefire. Hopefully they can come to some agreement and the bloodshed can stop. I'm not a fan of war. I think there's better ways to go about things. But war, it never ends well for anyone. Never.
No, you're right. Never ends well, but I think also we got to remember that on the fact that it never ends well, I think also when a war is happening, you can't use it as a political ploy to say, oh, if I was president, there wouldn't be a war. Or when I become president, I'm going to stop the war in one day. You also got to take it serious.
Correct.
Like, these are people that are dying, right? So Yeah, it's a war. No one ever wins in a war
No, no.
because once it starts, it's hard to stop because just because it stopped on paper, now you're dealing with animosity and hatred and ill will towards each other that can last longer than that war.
That's very
On
true.
both sides. On both sides.
And even when we even speak about war, right? You have to look at it like this. Each side thinks that they're right.
Yes.
So is there really a right and a wrong? Each side thinks that they're right. My thing is, I always say, no matter what your morals are, anything, it is wrong if it is taking away from someone's mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, environmental well-being. If it's taking away that from somebody, it's wrong, no matter what. You can't tell me that genital mutilation of African women is right? Correct. That might be a practice that y'all do, but so many women die from that. That is not right. You cannot tell me that starving innocent children is right, no matter what. If it's a strategy of war, that doesn't make it right. That is your strategy in order to force the hand of your adversary, but that's not right.
Correct.
So war, there's always a better way, in my opinion. There's always a better way. You ask me, well, what other way is there? Listen, if you control trade markets with something, then stop trading to the person you're beefing with, right? And then they'll come around, hey, we're sorry, maybe we can do a better job at working with you, please, so we can get that resource that we need from you. Do that. But instead, the other side is
sanctions.
We
call them sanctions. Yeah.
But instead, the other side will say, oh, you don't want to trade with us? We're going to bomb you. That's literally how it goes.
Really, right? That's the problem. You have two powerhouses. How do you execute a sanction? All right? Yeah. How do you when you got two powerhouses? But no, but you're right. War is it's a sad thing, and it's been here for a while, and
been here forever.
As long as you got people with egos, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think the only way I actually support any type of fighting along those lines is if God is literally saying, this is what y'all need to do. Because it was in the Bible, it's in the Quran, right? I would assume it's in the Torah too, even though those first 5 books of Moses, but that's a story for another day. I assume it's in the Jewish Torah. So it has happened. And if you believe in a higher entity in God, then you know that he has okayed it. So it's happened. But I don't know what God's influencing. I don't know what the strings he's pulling. So I'm just going to be like, I ain't with war. I'm not cool with it.
I hear you. Because it never ends well. So
no, it doesn't. Speaking of war, we'll get into our topic of the day after these updates. So as I said, I did a podcast episode. I was so proud of myself. I feel like my delivery is better. I think that's what happens when I'm actually confident about the topic that I'm talking about. If I just read up on it in the moment, then I'm like, because I listen to myself sometimes on the podcast and I do not like the way I talk at times because I hear the unsureness, if that's a word. I hear how unsure I am of certain things. But in this podcast episode that I recently did, I was confident. And I just released it yesterday. So we're recording today for the episode that's going to be released on Thursday. But as I was saying, I want to get back into the Tuesday, Thursday format because I'm trying to get as many stories as possible for us to cover. Obviously, you committed to the Thursday show. I'm not going to ask you to commit to 2 shows. You have a life. I am a square. So I don't have much of a life. I'm chilling.
Guess what?
Reading. What's up?
But I mean, listen, if the topic sounds good, I'll show up.
Well, I know one thing. I was talking about different goals that we had for all of the higher entity chemistry, because that's what we're the podcast for. And I didn't go into enough detail on the goals of AVIOT. So with AVIOT, I do want to have our 10 guests. I remember we were trying to do that last year, failed, but I believe we can do it this year. And I want those guests. I think we can try to get some community members, but we really got to make more of a name for ourselves. So for those of y'all listening, make sure to spread the word about our podcast. Message us. Please be nice in the messages about how we can improve topics that you would like to see us talk about. And I'm really going to work on these videos, putting those out. It's hard because my other computer was damaged. We made a podcast episode about that. And this computer right here is old and it's slow. So I need a new computer in order to work faster.
You do.
Yes.
You do. You've been talking about that new computer for a minute now.
I have. And even when it comes to this one, sometimes we mess up with the podcast episodes because the Zoom don't be working on my end.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Listen, since you use computers a lot, man, you definitely should probably invest in an Apple computer. More reliable, especially for what you do.
I just don't like
I know the learning curve
man.
is something else.
Yeah, I'm so used to PCs. I just have to be better about it and get a better protection plan. It's the interface. I feel that PCs are easier to navigate. Apple kind of confines you into this system. It's like Facebook. Once you in it, you in it. You there, Instagram, Threads. Now you in the web. And you can't escape the web because it's convenient.
That's funny.
And it's nice.
Oh, that happens. Instagram, but I forget Instagram is owned by Facebook and Thread. Nope, don't have it. Don't want it.
Threads is actually pretty good.
I'm so happy that TikTok is leaving on Sunday, so I can get rid of that as well. Because I can't get rid of it unless it leaves.
Well, there's still some
unless it leaves, I can't get rid of it.
I heard you. Well, I think there's some arguments that they're gonna try and save it at the last minute. Some people
don't save it. I need it to go so I can so I can have my life back.
Think about the people who have made a living off of TikTok. I mean, we made bank off of that. Listen, I've been putting money into our our company bank account. So we made bank off of TikTok. I'm not going to disclose the amount, but we made a pretty hefty sum. So we've made money.
No, and that's the sad part, right? No one's thinking about that. Well, they don't care, right? I really believe the conspiracy theory that this is all orchestrated by Mark Zuckerberg. I really believe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I read an article. So I read an article and also saw a video that in China, Facebook isn't allowed in China. So, what a better way to get back at China, even though it's Singapore. The guy, I saw the guy on the hill. He was like, "I'm from Singapore." He was like, "Are you or have you ever been affiliated with a Chinese communist?" He said, "Senator, I'm from Singapore." He said, "But have you ever lived in China?" But he said, "I'm living in Singapore. I am." I was like, "Bro, get over it. The man is not from China. Disrespecting this man like that."
Yes.
So, I mean,
they don't all look the same, people. They don't all look the same. Just like not all black people look the same.
Exactly. So no, shout out to everyone who made money off of TikTok. And let's be honest, it's not about Chinese
takeover,
invasion, privacy, because in that case they need to get rid of Temu. They need to get rid of Google. They need to get rid of a lot of stuff because we got a lot of in-house stuff that's national security. I'm sorry.
That's
security.
True.
So,
but I'm really a big proponent of putting putting all your eggs in one basket. That's why I always diversified with chemistry. We have a following on Pinterest, dude. Like we have a following everywhere. We have a following. So even though TikTok, I would say, is our biggest following, that's not the only follow we have. We're in the thousands on other platforms.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Facebook over 4,000. Instagram over 4,000. YouTube over 4,000. Facebook over 12,000. Instagram over 4,000. So we have an audience.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
Nope, not at all. Look, I'm steady. I must be getting older. I'm trying to figure out how the hell we even get on TikTok.
Wow.
What was the transition to TikTok? I'm like, how the hell we get on TikTok? I mean, I know I want it gone, but I don't think I took over and said I want it gone. That's what I'm trying to think. How the hell we start talking about TikTok?
What I will say is I think people are going to use their VPNs in order to circumvent the system. Like they're trying to do that with the pornography ban. I don't know if you've heard about that at all.
There's a pornography ban now?
Oh, yeah, in certain states.
For real?
Virginia, Florida, Texas.
I grew up. So I grew up. I don't watch porn more. I grew up all of a sudden. So that's why I'm like, a ban? Now I missed that ban.
Yeah, so certain pornography websites you can't watch in your state unless you put a government issued ID into a system so they can
Come
see your
on,
face and
son,
see if
that's
you're an
whack.
adult. Yeah, I know.
And that's still, look, in that same state, you can probably go to the titty bar down the street
Facts.
and
Facts.
show less ID than that.
Facts.
I'm sorry, less identification than that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's all about control. But y'all listen to the past episode. I talk about that in more detail there. Let's get into our topic of the day. We're going to talk about war. The war between Aubrey Drake Graham
Mm-hmm.
and what is it? Is it UMG? Yeah, UMG.
But just say it's Kendrick.
It is Kendrick. Is ongoing.
Did you read it?
What?
The new lawsuit.
Enlighten us all.
So it's basically him saying that UMG promoted Kendrick to say derogatory and false claims about Drake. And they even had lines in there. Like he was saying that Kendrick was threatening him when he said, I bet you that Oakland that Oakland
show gonna
stop
be your last stop. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or
wop.
Yes, wop. Talking about if you keep playing that's gonna cause violence. I'm like, are you joking? Just say you're suing Kendrick Lamar. Just say that. Because that's Kendrick Lamar lyrics. But you're saying, no, UMG, I'm not suing Kendrick, I'm suing you because you allowed this. But UMG, but they pushed back and said, you've been in multiple beefs and you used us the same way Kendrick used us. What's the problem?
Yeah, and no one's gonna say how you accuse Kendrick of beating on the mother of his children.
And also one of his kids not his.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, that's that Scorpio energy. And my bad to all the Scorpios listening, but y'all don't know how to let things go.
Nope.
Seriously. Y'all
sore
really
losers.
don't know how to let things go.
Sore losers and sore winners.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Because if this was the other way, we would have never heard the end of it. If
this is the other way, they'll still be gloating right now. And when
Aubrey had
a song, I told them, hey, stop, we're over it. They were like, no, Drake's the GOAT. You're jealous. Yeah. But now it's like Drake is losing. Now it's kind of like, oh, well, kind of like let off of him. And you saw how who was it? Steph Curry saw him and embraced him and gave him a big hug. I'm like, Curry, you compromise, man. You compromise.
Yeah, and KD, Curry. And KD too.
Oh yeah. But
and now for a quick commercial break.
Hey guys, as you can hear, we are unapologetic in our opinions. We may be politically incorrect or possibly wrong, but don't knock us for being ourselves and saying what many are too afraid to admit out loud. Anyways, if you have any thoughts or questions about our show, email us at chemistryproductions@gmail.com. That's K3MISTRY productions@gmail.com. We'll be sure to address whatever you have to say.
Curry really is, because Curry was the main one screaming, we tired of this song.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, is there anything is there anything going on there? Because you see DJ Academics was trying to claim that Aubrey was passing along women to LeBron so that he could cheat on Savannah. Too. And my thing is, why would LeBron, if LeBron is stepping out of Savannah, why would LeBron need Aubrey to help him?
Please, somebody explain that to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Aubrey,
why?
All people. And
LeBron's
it's kind of like.
Would you say LeBron's a bigger name than Aubrey?
LeBron's a bigger name, I think, number one. Number two, I think LeBron, if he's going to cheat on his wife, not saying it's right or wrong, I don't think he's going to do it with Drake. I do believe he has a tighter circle, like a maverick in him. I don't think he's going to do it with Drake, because Drake, I don't know. I just feel like, and also if he did, then shame on Drake. Shame on Bron, first of all, but shame on Drake too for, bro, you are now crashing out to the point that you can never come back from this. He can never come back from this. Because now, on top of the fact that you're a sore loser, you also chatting like a woman.
Listen, I know we have a lot of female listeners, so this is not meant to denigrate or put y'all down.
By all means, no, but But we already know women say the same thing about men. Men be chatting like women. So I mean, but yes.
Yeah, it's a trait we have
right
often seen with many women, that they tend to gossip a lot. It's a trait we have often seen. Not saying that all women do that.
Yeah, because men
gossip now
too. I mean, look at Drake.
Yes.
Yeah, we just
look at Drake in Academic.
We just never been this open about this before. That's the thing. We've never been open like this. For all we know, we're gonna have dudes with tell-all books like Corinne Steffens soon.
Well, remember Kendrick said it. The table has turned so much. I thought, I was seeing foosball.
True. What he say? He said, "You on your cycle, but he on his period too."
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. The tables turned so much. I was thinking it was foosball. Like, he ain't lying. Like, man, sometimes I turn on TikTok, it's this guy that be dancing. I mean, this dude dance like a chick, but he's supposed to be popping on Instagram. I'm like, bro, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He Vogue, like a new Vogue.
When it comes to the gender lines, also, everyone, I understand that people of any gender, whether you're male, female, what have you, transgender, you can do things that another gender is stereotypically or socially does. But there are certain stereotypes or certain social standards that are put with certain genders, right?
Yeah.
So when we're saying things like the gossiping thing, it's a belief system, at least in the American sense, that women tend to gossip all the time. So if you see men doing this out in the open, then you're like, oh, you're acting like a woman, right? I don't know whether that's right or wrong, but that's just how people perceive it. So correct. I'm just trying to back you up, Jay. I'm not trying to.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Listen, at the end of the day, somebody gonna be mad anyway. But
that is true. That is true.
Listen. Drake right about now is a chatty patty. He's a scoring. Listen, he's a scoring. He's a
lover scoring. He's a lover scoring.
Yeah. I mean, he made a whole song about LeBron without saying LeBron's name. And
I can't even listen to man's music, man. Like, seriously, before I can at least listen to some songs with him featured.
Yeah.
However, now I don't know if I can do that. I don't know.
Well, first of all, he's not coming out with any good music.
No.
But even his old stuff, I never listened to Aubrey like that anyway. But seriously, it's just like when you hear him, I have a hard time separating the art from the artist. The only person where it's different from me is Cosby. But even with that, I still feel kind of weird looking at the Cosby Show. But outside of that, it's like, it's hard for me to separate the art from the artist.
No, I hear you. It's hard. It definitely is sometimes. That's why I don't listen to R. Kelly no more.
Yeah. I never even got the hype with R. Kelly. I never really got the hype with him. I never thought he was all that great. And I'm not just saying that now. That was just always how I only liked. I can't even think of a song that I actually liked to hear from him like that. I couldn't name anything. I never liked the Throwing Out the Wing. I never liked that song.
R. Kelly wrote a lot of songs that you probably like though too. R. Kelly's a good songwriter.
I see.
Illiterate, but a good songwriter. So I don't know how
that makes sense. That makes sense.
A lot of misspelled words. I mean, somebody had to rewrite it. I don't know. I mean, somebody had to draw coloring.
Oh my god.
Somebody had to draw a picture. I don't know.
I will say I have found a newfound appreciation for the song. If it wasn't for the money, cars, the move, and style, the jewels, and all these things I got, I wonder, would you still call me? Is the one with Ashanti, him, and Ja Rule?
I don't know, but I know that was I know that was a horrible rendition, so I can't wait to hear this.
Dang, son.
I might listen to the show now so I can hear this.
Don't do me like that.
I know when my wife hear this, she's going to cry.
Listen, I ain't trying to go. I ain't trying to have another war with your wife today, okay? I ain't trying another war.
Oh, that was bad, man. Nah. I ain't know if I should look at you or look away when I
listen. That's frenemy. That's frenemy number one. Okay, frenemy number one. Anyways, yes. With that being said, Jay, great show.
Yes.
We'll definitely be talking after, and we're gonna make this Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna wake up on time. We're gonna make this.
You gotta make it this Sunday, man. Listen, at the end of the day, my boy Lamar about to rock out, man. Shoot, all right, come on. All right.
We on it. All right, man. All right. Yep. Peace.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.